Hello, and welcome to American Heron Wargaming. This is about a report from a game of Modulorka I played with one of my coworkers. We've gotten a few games under our belts now, and found that the 30-point format is well scoped to get a game in over a lunch break. My opponent was bringing their standard list. One speed boss with a fire axe, and then 3 Bikaz. One with a fire axe, one with a hand flama and flama tank, and one with a standard bludgeon pistol combo. My list is almost the same as last time, but with a slight switch up, because my Flama Orc had fallen off of his base, so it wasn't able to join the party. I have a Horde boss with a jetpack, bazooka pistol, and buzz sword. Then there's another lad with a jetpack, bludgeon pistol. Replacing the Flama lad is a regular lad with a rifle and a grenade for some area of effect action. Then running out the list is just a regular lad and gob, each with rifles. The board was using the Outpost battlefield. After putting down the 4 corners of the outpost, we took turns placing the rest of our terrain. With my opponent's big bike bases, they wanted to keep most of the terrain out of their way. Our primary mission was, "This is ours," so we placed 3 objective markers on the board. I placed one on top of some terrain so that my jetpack and foot-slogging lads could more easily get to it than the bikers, which we recently learned don't ever dismount unless they get shot off. The secondary mission was have a scrap, so each one of our models was worth an extra victory point for downing, with my opponent's boss being worth 2 because they only had 4 models and 5 VPs to distribute. Our battlefield condition was all clear, so no special rules there. I got the initiative first turn, but it doesn't really matter much because all of my opponent's models have the rash keyword, so they get to go before all non-rash models do. Their first turn, ironically, was cautious, moving up into range to control one objective, but also stay in cover so my rifle shots would be harder, if I could even draw a bead on them. I pushed up with my forces, taking the elevated objective, but with all the terrain on the westerly side of the board, I couldn't even get there with double moves. I had this sneaky plan to steal my opponent's home objective by sending my jetpackers across the map, but my boss failed his jetpack roll and fell short of the mark. Since bosses count as 2 models for controlling the objective points, the boss Bikaz kept it over the single jetpack lad. At least the lad hit him with his pistol shot for 2 damage. At the start of turn 2, the boss Bikaz pounced and found a sweet little spot that had him in control range of the objective, but also less than 1 inch for each of my lads. Since the fire axe attacks have a range of 1 inch, and it also uses the area of effect special rule, it can hit both of my guys, but since their melee weapons had a range of 0, they couldn't hit back. So they both got hit, got set on fire, and because they couldn't attack back, they had to get pinned. Ouch. It stings a bit more now because we realized after the game that the fire axe should only be doing 1 damage per hit, not 2. To make matters worse, the other biker rolled up and hosed my jetpacker down with his own flama, leaving my lad with just 1 HP left, guaranteeing that he goes down when he activates. The biker with a pistol rolls up to the western objective and shoots down my poor lonely gob. And then my jetpacker burns to a crisp. Farewell, sweet prince. To make matters worse, my remaining lads don't make much of a dent. In the western side, I move up to contest the objective, but have to take 2 moves to do it, so I don't get to take a shot. The lad who is up in the fortress tries to shoot the biker who has moved up to contest his objective, but misses. My boss reloads his bazooka pistol and fires instead of unpinning or dealing with being on fire, but also misses. Things are not going great on my side for sure. At the end of turn 2, we reveal our event, and it's a rage storm. The 2 models closest to the center become bestial. For my opponent, this is the biker with the other fire axe, but unfortunately for me, it's my lad whose sole job is supposed to be sitting on top of that objective and shooting. Being bestial means that the model has to move into contact with an enemy and attack in melee if possible. The boss biker gives my boss another spot with the axe, which I can't counter. Then my bestial lad gets to go next, as that condition also gives him rash. He moves up and punches 1 damage into the bestial biker, but that just means that the biker gets to go next and dish out some more pain with his fire axe. Fortunately, my boss avoids that hit. Deciding that discretion is the better part of valor, I decide to get my boss out of this deteriorating situation. I figure that if I can jetpack him over to the western side, I can at least control that objective and score some victory points. So I unpin with my first action and jet with my second, and falls short again. Whomever is maintaining that boss's jetpack is going to be getting a thumping after this. On top of all that, he's still on fire. To close out turn 3, my last lad finally manages to shoot one of the bikers off his bike, but they're both still in range of the objective, so it stays contested. Kicking off turn 4, the Flama Bika hoses down my boss. He's already on fire, but now with only 1 HP left, he's going down when he activates next. The bestial boy also gets finished off. My MVP lad on the west knocks out the dismounted Bika at least. But the writing on the wall has been very clear, and being able to claim 1 VP from that objective point at the end of turn 4 is not enough to pull me ahead. I forgot the actual VP tally in the end, but I definitely lost by a large margin. It wasn't good that we got the power wrong on the fire axe, but that's more on Battlescribe. I also had a lot of missed shots and 2 critical jump failures, so I'm not too salty about it. I think I had a good plan, but sometimes the dice just aren't willing to cooperate with you at all. Despite that, I think my next war game will be switched up a little bit, mainly because I have some new models that I want to get onto the table, so look out for that coming down the line. That's it for now. See yous.